Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You go into your shower feeling... But as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day. And smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Curious if you have any rundown on guys that are injured and kind of what your plan is here this week with the short week and how you're going to handle that.
Don't have any update on any of the guys that were injured. We'll do walkthroughs, have a lot of meeting time, some extra meeting time, extra walkthroughs to get prepared for this game.
Is Andrew Thomas a concern? He obviously looked a little banged up there. I know he finished, but is he a concern, or is that something you guys aren't really looking at this point?
Yeah, I don't have an update yet. I haven't met with any of the doctors. We've been grinding here on Dallas. I'll meet with these doctors and trainers at 11:30 or 12, whatever time it is.
Tom Canavan.
Hey, Daves, how you doing?
Tom?
Have you prepared in advance for this? And this is a week or 3 days of just getting your bodies ready?
Have we prepared? Are you talking about physically or mentally?
Game plan, mentally and game plan wise.
Yeah, you have younger coaches that go through things, leading up to this game. It's a short week. As play callers, you pretty hone in on who you're playing that week. So there's a lot of catching up to do. We met, after we got off the plane yesterday and, did some things last night. We were here early. A lot of catching up to do. New defensive coordinator, same offensive coordinator and Coach McCarthy, but new defensive coordinator, Coach Zimmer. We've had some of the guys stayed here last night. Other guys got in pretty early, so we're catching up. We'll be caught up, but there's these short weeks. There's not much time that you need a lot of it. You need all the time you can.
Brian Daboll.
I have a few for you. You said something last night I thought was very interesting about Nabers, and it almost doesn't matter who the matchup is. You expect him to win. How rare is that? That seems like the upper echelon of NFL playmakers. How rare is that you can have a player where you almost don't even care if he's going against an All-Pro or a Pro Bowler, you expect him to win? And how impressive is it Malik's got there that quickly?
Yeah, again, I think you have to be aware, Ryan, though. I know what I said. You have to be aware of the people that you're playing. We certainly have a good one this week that I think will be matched up quite a bit in Diggs. So you definitely have to be aware. But when you have confidence in your skill player offensively, you go ahead and give them opportunities. So it just means you have to be that much, cleaner, crisper on things when you're, going against a very good player. There's a lot of teams that do that with their guys, I would say. I don't want to speak for them in their game plan meetings, but like I said before, many times I'm glad we have them.
Secondly, I know it's a new year, clean slate. Can it help guys? Do you want guys to remember the pain of 40-0 prime time? I know that was week 1. This is week 4, but it feels very similar circumstances. Do you want guys to carry that feeling that they had that night? I think Dex even mentioned it yesterday. Do you want guys to carry the 40-0 feeling and use it as a chip on their shoulders this week?
I think each individual person is motivated by different things. My main focus is getting ready to play this team, 2024, the team that's just played these first 3 games, and different players, different schemes, making sure that we're prepared, doing a good job in our walkthroughs, in our meetings, in our communication. But our focus is on task at hand.
So you don't take anything from that night? That was probably one of the more difficult nights you had as a coach.
Yeah, I take. We got a short week and we got not much time to get ready, so that's where my focus is.
And then the last thing from Jordan's question, I know you said you don't have any injury updates, but is there a guy? CeeDee Lamb plays most of the time in the slot. You would seem to have 3 slot corners injured: McLeod, Adoree, and Phillips. Is there a guy you think you're optimistic is closest to playing of those 3?
Yeah, right. I don't have any update yet. That'll take place probably about an hour. So coaches have been in game planning. It's always a little. You put your game plan in schematically, but there's a personnel side of it too. So we'll work through some of those things. We'll have about 4 hours of meetings today, somewhere around there, and then get back on it as a coaching staff after the walkthrough at 3:15. So a lot of work that needs to be done right now in a short week.
Thank you.
Yep.
Patty Trina.
Good morning, Dapes. How are you?
Good, Patty. How are you?
Good, thank you. I have 2 for you, if I may.
Sure.
Can you just talk about how Daniel and Malik Nabers, how they have pushed each other and how they have grown together in this short amount of time?
Yeah, a lot of time on task. Again, I said this yesterday. There's a trust element to a quarterback and a receiver, and I think Daniel has that with really all of our skill guys. The amount of work that he puts into it, the extra individual periods, the routes on air, the times where the defense is going and they go over during practice and throw extra things. The communication in the film room, they meet together quite often. It's not just him. I mean, he's got one with Wandell. Say he's played with Slay the longest. So, again, that's an important part of the passing game is the trust that you're going to be where you're supposed to be. Your body language is going to be good. You can do a good job of coming back to the ball or going up and getting it and making a play. And, still work in progress. It's early, but they've worked hard at it.
And then my second question for you is about the offensive line, specifically John Michael Schmitz and the growth that you've seen in him from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah, I think it's helpful to have the guys around him that he's had too. The Runyons and GVRs and Illuminors, obviously AT, but those are veteran linemen that have played football that know what it takes. Certainly have a challenge this week against their defensive ends and their front. But I think having veterans in that room, particularly that offensive line room, is important for young players. And I think Carmen James have come in and done a nice job. He's improved. We need to continue to improve him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mark Canavero.
Hey, Daves, this can probably go for your entire team, but specifically about Daniel. You guys heard a lot of outside noise about what you can't do and whatnot, and I'm just curious what about Daniel's makeup allows him to shed this stuff, and move on to the next thing kind of thing. Obviously, the first game was tough for him, and he's come back quite well the last 2 games. Yeah, Mark, he's focused on what he needs to do to, be better from week 1 to week 2, from week 2 to week 3. That's where we focus. We watch the tape. We, coach up, whether it's technique or eyes or fundamentals or route concepts or play calls, and we have a good communication on that, and that's important, and that's really all we focus on. We don't focus on any other things that, really don't affect him other than what we do in our meeting time at practice, our communication with the receivers, protections with the offensive line, and he's consistent with that. He's been here quite a long time, and I think his focus is always where it needs to be. When he comes in the building, he's the same guy every day, whether it's a bad practice, a good practice, a bad game, a good game. I think that's important to be able to play quarterback here. How difficult of a challenge is that for a guy like Daniel? Really, anybody in the room, when things aren't going well and the outside world says you guys suck, et cetera, et cetera. How difficult is that to do what you just said? Yeah, I'd say that's a good question for Daniel. Everybody probably deals with it a little bit differently, but that's not. We don't really talk too much about that. Our focus is
look, what are they doing on 3rd and 2 to 5? How can we get a matchup? Where are we going to do? We're going to shift this guy. Oh, this is a tough blitz pattern. We got to make sure we have a re-identification. Cadence issue. Like there's so many things to talk about in such a short time each week when you're preparing. That the thing I appreciate about Daniel is he comes in ready to work every day, and his focus is on what's important, which is, learning from our mistakes, doing a good job communicating on what we can do better, and him and our relationship of play caller and quarterback is important, and then working at it in practice. So that's what I see every day.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We'll take 2 more. Kim Jones.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
Hey, Dave. How much sleep have you gotten since we talked to you last night?
Not a bunch.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Well, I probably look like it, huh?
No,
Yeah, it's okay.
no. You look good.
Thanks.
You look good.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about Malik. Is he better than you thought he was going to be this early? He clearly has skills, and you would know those better than I. But to do it this seemingly easily and quickly as a rookie, especially in this market, isn't something that we always see.
Yeah, again, I think he's confident in his skill set. I'm confident in his skill set. We spent a lot of time with him leading up to the draft, and then you really get to know him throughout OTAs and the mini camps and training camp, which he, excelled in those areas. And I have a lot of confidence in him. So, I think we target him a fair amount. But I think he's earned that. He's earned the right to have those opportunities. And look, one game, I don't know what he's had, 30 the past 2 weeks, I think. But, there'll be adjustments throughout a game where things are happening, and everybody's going to have to be dialed in. But his mindset, he's a competitive young man that he's just a football player. So glad we got him.
Any concerns about the kicker?
Yeah, we'll sit down and talk personnel stuff later today. But again, you'd like him obviously to make that kick. He didn't, but he's done a good job when he was here in practice, and we'll talk about what we're going to do here. And
on such a short week, would it be unusual to make a kicker change?
Yeah, I'm not saying we're going there, Kim. I haven't even met with the special teams coaches yet. So we discuss that every week. It's just not this week, obviously. Personnel and what we're doing. There's a lot of catching up to do here. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Okay. You're welcome.
Last one, Pat Leonard.
Hey, bro, just to be clear, Joseph will be your kicker Thursday night?
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Did you sleep at the facility overnight?
No, I went home.
And Deonte Banks, when you watch the film, what do you think he can do to correct or to address the way that Cleveland was attacking him? Obviously, a guy you guys have a lot of confidence in. Yeah. Young player. Just want to know what you see when you watch the film.
Yeah, he was tight on a lot of coverage, and I thought they made some nice plays. Some good throwing catches. He was right there on, I'd say, a number of them. So look, I have a lot of confidence in Banks. Again, sometimes those guys are going to make plays.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.